Hi guys, today we're making our Pinot Noir Rosé. So we've processed, destemmed 5 tonnes of Pinot Noir into the press, and I'm just letting it sit with a bit of time in the press to gain some nice pink colours that will then ferment later this week. So you can see coming out of the juice tray, it's coming out quite clear, and that beautiful pink hue. Sort of in the glass it looks a bit dark, but once that settles out, that'll be the lovely sort of pink salmon hue that we are aiming for. So
what happens after?
So I'll leave this to drain for probably another hour, and then I'll begin to slowly sort of squeeze it and press it a little bit to get a bit more colour out, and then once it starts getting too dark a colour, then I'll make a press cut and away we go. So we've got this going into a tank that's chilling right now, and we'll be settling it over the over the next couple of days before we then rack it and then begin fermentation.
So if you're using Pinot Noir grapes, why is it a rosé? Like, why is it lighter in colour than, say, a Pinot Noir?
So we're picking it earlier, and it's going straight into the press. So typically when you're making reds, they'll be time on skins. So in a fermenter, it could spend between sort of 7 to 14 days on skins. Whereas with our Pinot Noir for our rosé, we put it straight into the press, and you still extract a little bit of that pink colour, but you're not going to get that sort of darker, vibrant colour and tannins that you will achieve by fermenting on skins. So basically separating the juice from the skins at a much earlier stage than for the rest of our Pinots.
And how much Pinot Noir did you pick for the rosé?
5 tonnes. So we've done 5 tonnes, and we might get maybe 3,500 litres of rosé out of those 5 tonnes. Depends on how hard we squeeze it and how much, if the colour's still good, we might be able to squeeze a little bit more, but as you can see, that juice that's coming out is still quite clear and pink, and that's exactly the colour that we're looking for, is that sort of pale sort of salmon colour. You can sort of see light still through it, and then once that settles out, it'll be a beautiful sort of pink salmon hue and a lovely dry styled rosé.
Now, can you debunk the myth that if it's lighter, it's drier, and if it's darker rosé, it's sweeter? Is that true or false?
No, that's false. The colour is all determined by how long the juice spends on skins. So if I left this in the press for 24 hours, just as it is now, just trickling out, it's going to gain a lot more colour, but it's still going to have the same sweetness. So we are going for more of a sort of pink salmon. We don't want that darker coloured rosé, and I think it's more just in the market. They think that if they see a lighter coloured rosé, it's a drier style. So sort of and it's more gentle. So by stopping fermentation earlier, so or potentially you can add juice to the final wine post fermentation to sweeten it up. But we'll be aiming for sort of a drier style with and managing that colour, sweetness, acid is the important thing.